How was it with you dating and you having kids, and how was that for you, like vetting or trying to find someone who could be someone that you could bring in with your girls? Like, how did you go
Well,
about?
I didn't try to. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't try to find anyone. I wanted to be by myself with my two girls, raising my two girls alone, enjoying life. I'm not gonna say I wasn't gonna date, but I didn't want a man over my two girls. So my initial plans was to just enjoy my girls. I was living in Memphis, Tennessee at the time, and the hometown that I'm from, Marianna, Arkansas. Hey, I got to shout that out. But anyway, the hometown that I'm from was only like 45 minutes or hour away. So I would always go back to that village that you knew that was your village and my village. And so I was comfortable with that. And then fortunately, I met this man that was brutally honest. I wasn't used to that. A man being honest. He didn't have a whole lot to give. He didn't have a whole lot to bring, but he had honesty. And that was the one thing that I really admired about your stepdad. And the realness, the conversations. I'm moved by intellect. I'm moved by conversation. Good, healthy conversation. And he was a guy that had that good, healthy conversation. But you was a smart girl. You was a smart girl. So you saw him and you looked at him and you saw some things. And my children's, what you said mattered. What you said mattered. What you said could determine whether I was going to be happy for these 20 years that I am happy, or whether I was going to be like a nun. Nothing wrong with being a nun and enjoying my kids, you know. But the honesty, the conversations, and my biggest hiccup was I was afraid that although I was when I was growing up, I was never touched. I was never touched. My heart goes out to the women or the men that have been touched, but I was never touched by any family, friend, none of that. But I also know that I had two beautiful girls, and although that didn't happen to me, I wanted to protect my kids and not just bring anybody in over my children's. And so it took a lot of conversations, not conversations that I was asking, direct conversations. That's where a lot of women make a lot of mistakes. You never ask a lot of direct conversation. You listen. You listen. And it was something that had happened where he was telling me about something of one of his friends that and how terrible he felt about it. So that kind of broke the ice and made me feel like, okay, he is a good man, which I knew he was a decent man, but you don't know nobody until you actually live with that person.
Yeah.
So I prepared y'all. And I probably was wrong for this, but I prepared y'all. I never did talk directly, but I wanted to say, I did say to y'all, I wanted y'all to know that you could always talk to me about anything. If anyone do anything to you guys inappropriately, I wanted you guys to tell me. And so with the two girls that I had and how smart, and you guys were smart as whips, I knew that he would be all right. And so gave it a chance, and it's 20 years later. The thing was, I never did tell you guys to call him dad. I felt like that wasn't right to your real dad, because your real dad, it was like a battle of the love for Deasia, you know. So he was always trying to prove you was his baby. And I was always trying to prove you are my baby, so
Yeah. I tell
I
people
think,
that all the time. I say I'm a very affectionate person. It's because my parents are very affectionate. And when, like, if it's something, the holidays, and we go back home or something like that, and we all in the same space around each other, my mama gonna want to have me under her. My daddy gonna want to have me under him. Like, if you see me with my daddy, it's like I'm a little bitty baby. He gonna have me under
right.
him like I'm a little bitty baby. Then my mama, she affectionate too. And when I was coming up, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I don't think I ever said this to you, mama.
Uh-huh.
But because y'all was like that, I didn't I'm very affectionate now, but because y'all was like that, and it was like y'all just smothered me with love and affection until where I
Yeah,
used to be like, if my mom and my daddy was still together in the same house, I would go crazy. Like,
you probably would.
I think I'm the only kid was like, I didn't feel no type of way that I didn't have both my parents, because I felt love. You know what I'm saying? Me and my daddy, we got a really good, me and my daddy, we got like one of the best relationships ever. So I had all the love and all that kind of stuff. And then, we always talked or whatever. My dad was active. So, but I'm gonna tell you, the way that they smothered me with love and affection, if you was around, and you'd be like, I couldn't deal with this every day. I need a break from my parents. So
I think if we had still been together, our biggest argument would have been over you.
Because my daddy,
Yeah.
he gonna cut up about me. But going back to dating and and bringing a man in or whatever, I will say this. I remember when you and said your husband now first started dating and everything. I remember it was one of these particular times when I came home. Y'all was on lunch or something, because y'all used to work not too far from the job. Y'all was at lunch or something, and he was sitting at the table eating, and I don't know what I was doing. Like sometimes I've been on skip school or something. I don't know how I end up coming to the house, but the thing was, I wasn't supposed to be meeting him just then. And I don't think I didn't know that you was at the house either. So really, I ain't
You
have
probably was skipping school.
I think I was. I wasn't skipping. I had just left early. I just left early, right? So I done left early or whatever.
I take that back. You wasn't a senior. Maybe y'all had an early day out of school.
I was like,
because you really wasn't a bad kid.
Yeah, so I think I had left early or something or whatever. But anyway, I came home. I see this Chevy parked outside or whatever. I go in there. He got his Tommy Hilfiger hoodie on and everything, and he eating a sandwich. I was like, why is this nigga eating our lunch meat? That's what I had said to myself at first, right? And so I was like, who is he? You know how like kids be? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but then I'm like trying to explain, like, hey, mama, because I really don't supposed to be at the house either, type of thing, right? And so then eventually, I think, he started coming around a little bit more. This is what ended up happening. He had a lot of CDs of music like that I liked or whatever. And I was like, you know what? He'd probably be all right. Because I would be able to listen to his CDs and stuff like that or whatever. But as time went on, and it didn't take long, it was one of those things that I love the fact that his presence was there. He respected us. He respected you. And then also, it was like one of those things where he did not come in trying to play our daddy. He didn't come in doing it. He just came in and he was just like cool. Like one of the people I could come to and be like, can I listen to your CD? Can I, it was one of those type of things. Or I could, hey, can you run me to the store? All that, the stuff that kids do or whatever. He didn't come in trying to discipline us or anything like that. We were already respectful kids or whatever. So that wasn't an issue. But he didn't come in trying to overpower or nothing like that. Because I think too, what a lot of single parents have to understand as well is the kids become territorial.
Right.
The kids become territorial because they're used to this being their space. This is my space, and now you have to adjust a little bit with this other person around, because you know you have to accept the fact that you know your mom is dating and she's doing her thing or whatever the case may be. But for a little while, it feels like this person is infringing on my space. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta really make sure that I like you for you to be here, type of thing. And everything was so effortlessly done because he didn't come in with like trying to discipline us or infringe on our space or nothing like that. Never did anything appropriate. Just like you, I've never had anybody to touch me or nothing like that. And my heart goes out to people who have experienced it. That has never happened to me, or whatever the case may be. And one thing that, you know, made me fall in love with my bonus dad as well was the fact that he actually treated me like I was his biological child. Like he actually talked to me and gave me game. And it would be like, it wasn't like trying to tell me what to do type of thing, but he would be just, he wants like if I'm doing something, he won't be like, you ought to not do this, you ought to not do that. He'll just put me up on game. Because by that time I was about 14.
Or basically just give you options.
Exactly.
A different way to think of it, a different way to look at it. And but still not taking away from your decision, but hey, giving you some information and letting you know, hey, if you take that route, think about looking at it from this perspective as well. And another thing that I loved about y'all relationship, and he just made himself available. That's it.
Yeah.
He didn't do nothing but make himself available. And I really appreciated that, because he knew when I first met him, I said to him, I don't want nobody but me and my babies. So when he first met you guys, he didn't intend to see these big old teenagers.
Big old kids, not the babies.